So these are my Premier League predictions for Match Day 37, which is this weekend, and obviously some games in hand as well. So this weekend's games and some games in hand next week as well. So we've only got 2 games remaining in this Premier League season. It's became a bit of a dead ending, hasn't it? Let's be real. Only hooping pace is the battle for. So yes, let's straight into it. Starting off there with Aston Villa versus Tottenham. I think Tottenham got one eye on the Europa League final. I think it is next week. And Aston Villa are still chasing down that top 5 after the win at Bournemouth. Tottenham really poor against Pirates in their defeat to Pirates. Aston Villa decent. They were decent against Bournemouth. Good win for Villa, and I'm done for Villa to get a comfortable victory here over Tottenham. Done for Aston Villa 3. Tottenham now. Up next then, Chelsea versus Manchester United. I think Manchester United got one eye on that Europa League final against Spurs. Chelsea really poor against Newcastle, which is what I expected, to be honest with you. But I think Chelsea do get the win here against Manchester United, and I think they win 2-0. I think they win that game 2-0. I think beat that sort of game. Not many goals, but Chelsea will just edge them, in my opinion. It's on to now the final home game at Dawson Park between Everton and Southampton. I'm going to go for Everton to win the final home game at Dawson Park with a 2-0 victory over Southampton in the Yas Hurrah at Dawson Park. Southampton already were dated. They got a good result, to be fair, Southampton against Manchester City, but I think Everton get the win in the final game at Dawson Park. West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. A lot of people didn't like Nottingham Forest owner going onto the pitch and having words with Nuno for chopping points against Leicester. Yes, we will. He did. He chopped points against Leicester. And you know what? Fair play to the Forest owner. I know people won't like that, but fair play to him. Shows he cares about the club. He has standards. He has standards for the club as well. And that's what English football should have. And people are like, it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic for Nottingham Forest to compete at the top. Do they not know their history? Do they not know Nottingham Forest's history? Former hooping champions as well. So I don't get all this why everyone's having a door at the Forest owner. But that just sums the English fan base up, doesn't it? Sums the fans from England all over. No standards for their club. Well, fans from the UK, no standards for their club. Simple as that. That's why they don't like it. I wish the Taro owner did that, but he stormed on the pitch and had a door at the players and said, "You're not good enough." Simple as that. So shout out to the Forest owner for doing that. Shout out to him. Nuno's still done a great job, by the way. Nuno's still a great course, but they just fell away now, haven't they, Nottingham Forest? I mean, after being so comfortable in the top 4, they've basically done a Leicester under Brendan Rodgers, haven't they? Where they just fell away near the end of the season. And I think they are falling away now, unfortunately for them. I just think it's going to continue for Forest of dropping points. And I think it continues here with a 2-2 draw away at West Ham. West Ham, who obviously did beat Manchester United, but I think it'll be a 2-2 draw in that one, and I think it'll be more drop points for Forest. I think Forest needs to win that game against Leicester for me to have any chance of Champions League, in my opinion. Up next then, Brentford versus Fulham. Fulham just a weird team, and They always seem to get to 40-50 points, and then they're on the beats. Fulham, then they're on the beats. I think Fulham have already written off this season now, especially in that defeat to Everton as well. And Brentford, shout out to Brentford in 8th place, by the way. I think they're in 8th place in the Premier League table as well. And 8th place could be the final hooping place as well. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Brentford against Fulham in that one. Up next, another dead rubber game. Yes, between two where there's teams in Leicester and Ipswich. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Leicester against Ipswich. Jamie Vardy, why not? Jamie Vardy to start the only goal of the game. Because why not? Up next, Arsenal versus Newcastle. Pretty much battle for second, isn't it? Pretty much a battle for second. Arsenal 2 points here above Newcastle after coming back from 2-0 down to get a 2-2 draw at Anfield. Then Suds. I do, like I said, you saw my match review, you saw my watch on with Bobby. Them 2 halves, wasn't it? Them 2 halves, then Suds. Arsenal the better team in the second half. Obviously, Arsenal have a poor record recently against Newcastle. Newcastle got a poor record away from home against the big teams as well, which only means one thing: 0-0 draw. I think it'd be a 0-0 draw personally. But then it's Arsenal's final home game as well. They may turn up, to be fair, but I can see a 0-0 draw, to be fair. Just because in recent times Arsenal they've not really had a shot against Newcastle. Yeah, trouble Newcastle in recent games. Newcastle poor away from home against the big 6 teams. That's why I've gone for a 0-0 draw in that one. And up next, Brighton versus Liverpool, which is the Monday night game. We don't tend to have a great record, do we? Away at Brighton. We don't tend to have a great record away at Brighton, do we? In recent times, obviously we won the Carabao Cup game earlier in the season. I think, but then Liverpool are just in these last 2 games. Liverpool done from a loss to a draw, and I think Liverpool may want to win the final away game. I don't think we will win though. I think it's gonna be another draw, to be honest with you. Just because Brighton seem to turn up at home. Against the top teams. They did it against Arsenal, they did it against Man City, and I think they're going to do it here, but I do think it will be a draw. I think it'll be a 2-2 draw in that game between us and Brighton. But I will say we will win the final home game of the season. We will win our final game against Palace, in my opinion. Bit of a spoiler for the final day predictions. Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Wolves got beat up Brighton, didn't they? And Crystal Palace won against Tottenham. I think Crystal Palace get a win here in their final home game. I don't think Crystal Palace will win 2-1 against Wolves. And finally, Manchester City against Bournemouth. Be a tough game for Man City, especially when they drew with Southampton as well. But I just think Man City at home as well. I think Man City will edge that game 2-1 against Bournemouth. Be a tight game, I reckon. I think Bournemouth may start, to be fair, but I think Man City will edge it, in my opinion, in that game in hand. So, and that should be enough to seal Man City Champions League, in my opinion. So, then my match day 37 Premier League predictions. Feel free to leave your predictions down below in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.